Hello and welcome to the first UK data centre event hosted by Platform Markets Group together with Eversheds Sutherland here in London, UK. I'm Nicola Hayes, Non-Executive Director at Platform Markets Group, and I'm delighted to welcome Mark Chester, Head of Data Centres at Eversheds Sutherland for EMEA. So Mark, thank you very, very much for hosting. Thank you for joining me for this interview.
Absolute pleasure.
And I suppose my first question is, what prompted Eversheds Sutherland to agree to host this event in the UK about the UK market today?
Well, I suppose the data centres practice here at Eversheds has just grown and grown and grown over the last, 20-something years now that I've been working within the sector. And from my perspective, the UK is sort of where it all started back in the late 90s. And the UK has been a constant in our practice here as we've grown into the rest of Europe. But I guess the most important reason would be that the data center sector has really grown out of the connections that people make with each other within the sector. And so it's great today to see so many new faces, new investors who are interested in learning more about the sector. And so what better way of doing it than here in the heart of the city?
Absolutely. And that investment part is really important, and that is the focus, obviously, of today. So from your perspective in professional services on the legal side of this amazing industry, what trends in M&A and investment have you been seeing from your side of things, particularly in the UK, over the last 12 months?
Well, we continue to see M&A activity inevitably. I mean, it is diminishing. There are fewer and fewer platforms available that are looking for funding. We've seen continued consolidation. I think from my perspective, a big change has been around the sort of single large scale, perhaps being driven by AI data center projects which are so large that in their own right, they are a standalone investment opportunity. And if I cast my mind back 2-3 years, we weren't really seeing very much of that at all. Whereas now, it's a fairly regular occurrence to see those kind of opportunities, and therefore looking for money both on an equity and the debt side to get those projects off the ground.
And how does that compare? Because obviously you're not just looking after the UK here, you're also looking after the rest of EMEA. How does that compare to what we're witnessing across the rest of EMEA? Is it similar? Are there differences?
I think it's similar. I mean, as we've talked about today, the FLAP-D markets are not without their challenges. I think there's a huge focus on those secondary locations now within the FLAP-D markets, as well as the secondary locations for cloud services. But it is a similar story, particularly across the UK and Germany. And then some of the newer markets like Milan and Madrid, where we're seeing the most activity at the moment.
Fantastic. Well, I'm really looking forward to watching your session later. The afternoon should be full of lots of insight, lots of investment advice, and of course, all focused on the UK. So thank you very much for joining me, Mark, and I will see you in the auditorium during your session.
My pleasure. Thank you.